Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil. Today I'm presenting an upgraded Giratina V-STAR starter deck with the Lost Zone engine. It's a very nice deck. This was the first of the new starter decks I looked at, in large part because it was we already had it as a starter deck the previous year. It was more of an upgraded version, but we can upgrade it more, and it does get better. So I'll dive right into the changes mostly. It's a 3/3 Giratina V-STAR still. Lost Impact's very good, does 180 for 3 after Lost Zone 2 energies. And then Star Requiem, you just knock out a Pokemon with that attack for 2 energies, as long as you have at least 10 cards in the Lost Zone. Of course, Mist Energy stops that, so beware of that. We have added something to the deck to help deal with Mist Energy, so you probably can anticipate it, but if not, we'll be getting to that shortly. The Giratina V, still a nice attacker. Abyss Seeking can be your best attack early game. Just get 4 cards in hand, 2 in the Lost Zone, 2 in hand. Just kind of build up the cards in the Lost Zone, build up your hand size. But in the Shred attack on the basic V is important, right? It gives us a nice way to hit through a Mimikyu to one-shot it, and they're taking a lot of hits to knock us out, so it's very good in that matchup. Still keeping the 4 Comfeys, because that is a really key part to the Lost Zone engine. Keeping the Sableye and Cramorant, but dropping to just 1 copy of each. 2 copies generally aren't something we need. If one's prized, you just got to work around it, and that's okay. I have increased the rod count too, so we will recover them to get them back later in the game. But then those 2 slots, I've added in 2 other Pokemon. One, a nice important engine piece, Radiant Greninja. Concealed card is discarded energy from hand, draw 2 cards. Very good there. And we do have added water energy to the deck, so we can attack with Moonlight Shuriken. Discard 2 energies from this Pokemon. It's water colorless, and it does 90 to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, so very good there. I did remove the Manaphy. Most of the top decks aren't playing that, so we're vulnerable to Radiant Greninja ourselves, but then it's just a matter of hopefully getting the prize lead early and maintaining it, or just playing smartly and hopefully getting ahead, working out of that spot. So, but it's first and foremost there is an engine piece, which is good for that, and it is an attacking option, and then 1 copy of Iron Leaves EX. So you may have to craft this Grass EX Pokemon. It's a future Pokemon. It's here in large part because it one-shots Charizard EX. Prism Edge does 180 for Grass colorless. We already have the Grass energy in deck because that's part of Giratina V-STAR's attack cost, so adding a Grass attacker in that will one-shot Charizard EX once you double for weakness. It actually works very nicely, this card, because you can get it into play, hopefully the turn you need it. Just 1 copy here. The Rapid Vernier ability, if I'm saying that correct, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, so don't use Nest Ball to get into play, because then you don't activate the ability. You have to play it from hand. Then you can move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon, so you put it onto the bench. You can move it automatically into the active and move energy to it, so you get a grass, and some other energy, so you can set up Boom, because you don't want to leave a Pokemon like this in play for the Charizard EX to take out beforehand, but Boom, you just one-shot that Charizard EX where your opponent has nothing to do about it. So very nice add to the deck there. Energy counts, kept the 4 Jet energies, really good, provides some switching. We do play Temple of Sinnoh, so just be careful, that shuts off our Jet energy. It still provides a colorless energy, but it loses the switching aspect. We've kept the 4 Grass energies because we have Grass, an additional need for Grass with the Iron Leaves EX. The Psychic energy we've dropped from 6 to 3, right? Because the Iron Leaves, we want more of the Grass energy, but with 3, I've added, I believe I said this earlier, an extra Rod, so that will help get it back into play. But be very careful with Lost Zoning energies. Right, you can find yourself in a real bind, because we want, obviously, for Giratina V-STAR and for Sableye as well. At least often we do. And then 3 water energies is what we added in because of the Radiant Greninja, so just really nice there. Okay, so getting into the trainers, I've reduced some of the switching options, in part because I've added Prime Catcher. Well, Prime Catcher, which acts as a gust, kind of replaces a boss and a switch card. You switch your opponent's bench with your active, and then you switch your active with one of your benched Pokemon. I've also added the tool Rescue Board, just one copy. Some lists play two. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card's attached to is one less. Comfey is a retreat cost of one. You want that in the active all the time. Like your active gets knocked out, you want to promote the Comfey with the Rescue Board attached so you can use the ability and then retreat to the bench to another Comfey or your attacker. So very nice card there. Because of this new switching, I have dropped down to 2 Switch and 2 Switch carts. Before it was a 4-4, wanting to make some deck space here, going over the changes first, and went from 2 Super Rods to 3, cut the Psychic Energies, also cut down the number of Cramorant and Sableye, so just another rod to help get those back in play. Just getting the energies back in the end of Pokemon is really important with a deck like this. Boss's Order went from 2 to 1. Prime Catcher was added to the deck, and also Counter Catcher, which works like Boss as long as you're behind, which can happen. In part, why these item gusting cards are good is because you want to Colress every turn, especially early game, and so therefore you can Colress and still gust with a card like Counter Catcher on that same turn. Cut the 2 Beach Court. Because we have enough switching in the deck, I didn't think that stadium was necessary, but added in 2 Temple of Sinnoh instead. You could go with 1. This is one of those things where things vary a bit what the count is, but all special ability attached to Pokemon provide just 1 colorless energy and have no other effects. It shuts off Mist Energy. That's a big part of why it's there, because Mist Energy stops the Giratina's V-Star's V-Star attack from working, so takes care of that, shuts it down as I said, our Jet Energy, so just be aware of that. If you played down your Temple of Sinnoh, your Jet Energy is not going to work. And also a number of decks obviously play double Turbo Energy. Arceus is still around, plus some other things. So making that 2 colorless energies into 1 can be very beneficial because of Lost Vacuum, and I want to be able to access our Jet Energy still. Because of Temple of Sinnoh, 2 copies of that, I've included 1 copy of Lost Vacuum. Partly, it can get rid of a tool or a stadium, which can be very helpful in general, but it also gives us a way to bump our Temple of Sinnoh, because sometimes we want it down, and then sometimes we're like later on, we need to get that out of play because it's causing us trouble now. And then the other card, I think I've hit everything else, is just 1 copy of Pokégear. Partly, it just helps you get the Colress a little bit early. It's not as good as a 5th copy, but it's kind of an extra half copy. So it's kind of like having 4.5 copies of Colress, right? Just increase the odds of getting the Colress earlier. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, put a supporter there into your hand. Colress, Boss, Roxanne, which we kept the 2 copies of that. It gives a little bit of flexibility to the deck. I do like it in the deck. 1 copy gets a little questionable. You could make some adjustments, like go to, say, 1 Temple of Sinnoh, drop in another Pokégear. There's some benefits. You can kind of play around with some of those cards at the edges. The cards at the edges, to me, is Rescue Board. What's the count of that? I want at least 1. You could go to 2. Temple of Sinnoh, I like it. You could go to 1 copy on that. If you go to 1, sometimes people don't play Lost Vacuum, so you could pick up a deck slot there. Pokégear, you could increase that. Those are kind of the fringe cards they're all good cards. You're kind of playing around with the counts of those more than cutting them completely. But let's take a look at this list in play. It is a better list, a little bit harder to play because there's more one-ofs now, but the Lost Zone engine does let you get pretty good access to the cards you want when you need them. So let's take a look at the deck in action. All right, let's see what happens here. Things have been, my results online have been inconsistent, is what I would say. Kind of streaky, where things go well, things go badly, get good matchups, get bad matchups. Up against some control decks lately. A control box, which is tough. That kind of energy denial, trapping control box, which is tricky. Kind of wanted to minimize Pokemon in play. All right, well, this is a bad start. That's note. Am I going second? I don't know. All right, up Psychic Energy, Bayonet, which, okay, so, all right, it's going to be a little awkward there. We'll see. A bunch of mulligans, though. I do like that. Okay, Jet Energy. I like that. So going second, I can Colress. So I probably will. I'll play the Comfey. I think But my thought, so the question is, do you want a Colress first or do you want a Comfey first when you have a choice? And you'll get that choice a number of times in a game. I think Comfey first because you have less choice on that. You have more choice on Colress. So play the card from my standpoint that gives you less choice, and then do the one that gives you more choice after. Okay, so Noibat, which becomes Noivern EX, which I know and like a lot. So I'm aware of that. All right, so I should thin. I guess I will. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I should not have benched that one Comfey because I don't know if I want 3, but I do want to thin my deck. I can say that. So I can get 4 in the Lost Zone this turn. So I'll do this because I can retreat and I have a switch card. So, ooh, these are both nice cards, aren't they? All right, I'm going to give up the Rescue Board for Nest Ball because I want to get either. All right, so I'll retreat here. I have the switch card, so I actually have Cramorant, so I do have a knockout this turn. So I want to get a Giratina V into play. Actually, I know I do. I want that. So let me get him down. I'm not going to attach energy this turn because I already did that, but I'll take a knockout and grab the energy because energy is always good. We play 4 in deck. So that's 2 in the Lost Zone. Get 2 more. Oh, I have 2 copies. So, and my opponent conceded because they saw the knockout coming and just didn't like their situation. So this is where, hey, I would choose to go first, but going second, you can knock out one of these small basic Pokemon, especially with the EXs now. The ones that evolve obviously from single prize Pokemon, and those usually, those you can one shot with the Cramorant. So, we got a nice start and got the W that game. All right, call heads here, and I will go first if it's my choice. Don't get the choice here. I think again, you can see going second's good. You can get the 4 in the Lost Zone in attack. You can also attack with Giratina V, not V-Star. I was going to say V-Star incorrectly, but the V for 1 energy, which is quite nice. Just gets you 2 more in the Lost Zone. So therefore, you can just get to that magic number of 7 to Mirage Gate. Okay, that would be a good. It's not, obviously, it's a mulligan. So we'll see what happens here. Am I going first or second, by the way? I'm going first. Okay, so that means they're gonna smack me hard turn 1. All right, well, hopefully they don't knock out the Giratina V because I can't get him out of the active. So how do I want to work this? Maybe I drop Radiant Greninja. Excuse me. Ugh. Go ahead and Nest Ball. So maybe get. All right, so Nest Ball can drop down Radiant Greninja, can discard the energy. Might Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I'll probably Buddy Poffin before. All right, so Lost Zone. So they're looking to take a poke at me, but that's not terrible, right? That's okay. And I don't have. Well, that stinks. I think I want to get going with. Well, this isn't good. Okay, so I wanted Radiant Greninja, so I will drop down to Giratina, toss 2 Comfeys, and I think I'm going to attach energy to the active, and that's a very poor turn. And I don't have a lot of hope next turn. I have the Pokégear, so hopefully I get Colress with that next turn, right? So the odds of getting Colress, I draw 1 per turn, and I see the top 8 cards in deck, so I'll see 9 cards, assuming they don't reset my hand. So Iron Bundle, but I don't think they want to switch me out, right? If they switch me out, I'm going to set up Comfey. I get to choose. And now they might take out my Comfey. That's a downside, but I think it's better than leaving the Giratina V just to get smacked into. So Darkness Energy, just kind of see what they're playing here. Is a Paradox Box. Lost Zone, I assume. And I don't know all the different attackers it's playing right now. Okay, so Sableye, which is fine. I mean, obviously they're pleased to get it, but they don't. It's not any good for several turns for them. So it makes sense to using the Hisuian Heavy Ball before playing the Comfey, though. Is good sequencing. You know, see what your prizes are. Just gives you more knowledge before you make the choice with the Comfey. So I'm going to retreat, set up another Comfey. They like their different arts here. So get a second card in the Lost Zone. If they get Colress, they could attack. They need a Switch card now. And of course, they need a Cramorant to attack. Or, you know, so, okay. So, all right. So now they're going to grab a Colress, I assume. The Raikou, I don't know if I love, you know, I'm pleased to see it because that's a nice soft 2-prize target for me that my Giratina will eat up, and they don't one-shot my V-Star, right? And in fact, they don't even one-shot my V unless I have a full bench, so that's good. I mean, the Raikou V is a good card. I'm not trying to, you know, I do like it, but I think, you know, for this matchup, it's not great. I can't one-shot it with my Cramorant or my Sableye, so therefore it's not terrible. But Giratina versus Raikou, you definitely want to be the... So we'll see if they have the knockout. If they don't have the knockout... so Manaphy, okay. Maybe they don't have the knock, so they're not going to take a knockout. So that was... I mean, that was just not a good play there. Because I don't think gusting up the Comfey wasn't good if they're not going to take a prize off of it. Because I actually want Comfey in the active. It's just better for me. So I haven't played like a Future Box style deck yet. So I'm doing Future Hands. Okay, so Colress is great. So I think I'm gonna look to take a knockout. Just get several cards in the Lost Zone. I don't think anybody but Poffin. So I have none. Okay, well that's not very good. So I'll grab the Mirage Gate. I might not actually pull off an attack this turn, which is just sad, right? So we'll see what I hit here. So Cramorant. Boss is nice, but I can attack this turn, and I think I just want to... I think I'll grab the Switch. The Boss is the other card I'm thinking about. Boss is good, too, but I think it's going to be a lot of single prizes, so just taking a prize this turn is good. All right, so that's 3 in the Lost Zone. This will get me to 4. I also need to get stuff in the Lost Zone because I need to start to be able to attack with my Giratina V-Star, right? Okay, so I will grab... Just giving up these Buddy-Buddy Poffins. I think that's the second one I lost on, right? Again, I'm perfectly fine with that. So I will switch here. I didn't have to use my Pokégear, so I have that for next turn. I take the first prize... you know, in multi-prize matchups, taking a single okay, that's a nice card. I'm very pleased about that. So I can evolve one of my V's to the V-Star. I'll have to think. Some of it depends with Pokégear what I get. Do they take the knockout here? I don't play Manaphy, so do they play Water Energy? I would guess so. Yep, they do. So, so they're gonna just knock out my Cramorant with their Cramorant, which is perfectly fine. You know, if I had, yeah, so that's fine. They could use Counter Catcher this turn. I don't know if they can, if they will. I'm actually not. You know, taking out one of my Comfeys would be the worst thing, probably. I mean, they could soften up my Giratina V. If they gusted up my Giratina V without the energy and I don't get energy onto it, that sets me back because They can knock it out the following turn probably, and I'm not advancing my board state, which is obviously troublesome. So maybe I should have got another Comfey into play. I lost on 2 Buddy-Buddy Poffins, so I certainly had opportunity for that. Again, I'm just kind of looking through, paying attention. Let's see what they have in the discard. Keep checking. It's hard for me to, all the blinged out cards, just it's trickier, and they do like different art still, right? Like they have these fancy switches that, they're different. 2 different switches there, right? So they take the knockout. I'll send up my Comfey. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And then I have the Pokégear. Prime Catcher that's nice. I don't know if I want to. I don't think I want to use it yet though. I want to take out. The Switch Cart's nice. Do I ditch an energy though? A grass energy? Yeah, I can. Cause I have 4 grass energies. I think I'm okay. I want to. So I'm at 5. Let me Pokégear first. All right, Colress, because now this gets me to 7. I can Mirage Gate, and I can actually take out the Raikou V this turn, I think, right? And that's kind of the dream, right? That is the dream. All right, so energy, yes. Colress, yes. I'll grab the Lost Vacuum, maybe. I don't think I need the Iron Leaves this game. I don't feel like I'm gonna need another. I think I can live without the Nest Ball. That's my thought process right now. So, and I have a Water Energy in hand. So I don't even know if I want to use this other Comfey this turn. All right, so let me. What's in the discard? The Cramorant, don't need that. So. So let me go Grass, Psychic. Yeah, Grass and Psychic. So Psychic. Oops. Okay, the goal was I wanted to put the Grass elsewhere, honestly, and I got myself a little mixed up there. So I'll just do this, and I will. I think I'm in. I'm not gonna use my other Comfey. So Prime Catcher, gonna take 2 prizes, which is really nice. And at some point they might have played a Collapsed Stadium to get better play, but now no option of that. Get rid of energy discarding. Obviously has to come from the Giratina VSTAR, and I want to have a Grass and a Psychic Energy left attached. So that was easy with the discard. So 2 prizes. So my counter catcher this game's not looking very useful, which is fine. All right, so I lost zoned 2 grass, so I'm down to 2 grass in total and 2 waters. Okay, so just got to keep that in mind. Things are a little tricky now. We'll see what my opponent does and plays. I do have Boss in deck as well. I can accelerate a water and something else, right, from the deck. Before I Mirage Gate, I might want to Nest Ball, and not put anything in play necessarily, but just to well, okay, so they have Roaring Moon, so that means they can. Yeah, so they can one-shot my Giratina VSTAR, which will make me very sad, I will say that. Sableye starts to be kind of nice because I can take out the Manaphy and soften up something, right? Take out the Manaphy and put enough damage on the Cramorant so then I could take 2 prizes with a Radiant Greninja, which actually those 2 turns would win me game. Manaphy. I need 10 in the Lost Zone, but I should get there. If they don't knock me out, then unfortunately my Switch Cart's no good. That's where Switch Cart's awkward with the Giratina VSTAR. Honestly, I'm finding a number of games where I'm having Switch Cart when I would like to. So what are they going to do? Take? Okay. That's not bad. And if they knock me out, that's okay. Yeah, this is okay. So, so are they gonna? Looks like they're gonna take out my 2 Comfeys this turn. It looks like I have Colress Experiment. Is probably the play there. I need to get out of the active though, right? And that's okay. I do have I do have one Mirage Gate here. Have I lost some Mirage Gates? I get confused with the different game sum. So okay, so what if they only wait? That was weird. It showed I must have. Okay, so they're going to take out the 2 Comfeys, I assume. And I don't play Manaphy, so this I'm vulnerable to this, but it's okay. I don't think I lose off this. I need to attack. I can use Switch Cart this turn too, which I might actually just do that. I might Switch Cart. I have a Switch as well. So, how do I want to work this? Do I want to Sableye this turn? I think I might. So maybe I drop Sableye. So I have Psychic and a Water and a Grass. Okay, so yeah. So I think I take a prize this turn, and I put pressure on them is what I do. That's what I do. All right, so I can't Roxanne this turn because I have to get. So let me get my. So I want the Psychic. And I'll put the Water on the V-Star because that just gives him a 3rd energy if I use the first attack. So I want to attack with Sableye this turn. And we'll see what they do. They can take a prize with Radiant Greninja. They can leave him there, and I can just kind of keep pinging away too. So now I Colress. I just wanted to make sure the energy was in the deck. All right, so the V-Star is awesome. Okay, how do I work this? I don't think I need Jet Energy. I'll just grab these energies. The Rescue Board's not terrible either, but yeah, this is quite nice. So I will Switch Cart first. Send you up. I have 11 there. I haven't attached per turn yet, so let me go ahead and do that. And I will, what's in the, no energies there, right? So yeah, I'm fine. And I will just sprinkle away, take out, how do I want to work this? I take out a Comfey. Yeah, 40, 70. Probably shouldn't do that, but that's okay. That's actually probably a mistake now that I think about it, because they can heal that, right? But, all right, got an energy. I shouldn't have put it on the other Comfey. I should have put it either on the Manaphy or the Cramorant. Now that I think about it, maybe the... because they want... The problem is why that was a mistake, and I realized it once I started making the play, is they probably play, they play Switch Cart. They want to get the Comfey in the active. They could hard retreat the Radiant Greninja, and then they could Switch Cart the Comfey out, which heals 30 of that 50 off, which still gives me game, right? 70. That it gives me just enough for game. So, but if I sprinkle it on to the Cramorant, that would have been better, or even the Radiant Greninja for that matter. So at this point, I think, and they whiffed on energy, so that's bad, really bad for them. And that took away that, when they whiffed on energy, that took away whatever chance they had. At this point, I could one-shot their EX. I could take 2 prizes with my Sableye, so I think I had the game locked up. Like I said, I didn't place the damage counters correctly. I realized it after I placed the first two, but once I placed the first two, it didn't really matter what I did after that. Just, you know, they wouldn't heal them all off, so I just did continue putting them on, and the deck set up and worked well. All right, let's see what happens. We'll go first if I get the choice. Don't get the choice, so, you know, they both, you know, there are legitimate reasons with this deck to go first or second. A big part of it depends on the matchup, but of course you don't know the matchup when going into the game, so I'm happy to do either. Okay, it's not great, so no, in fact, it's bad. So, but I have Radiant Greninja. The problem is I don't want to Jet Energy this turn. So if I drew into a Comfey, say with the draw for turn or from Radiant Greninja, I don't think I want to play the Jet Energy on him. Excuse me. Well, it depends on what I'm up against, right? Because I'll get 2 in the loss with Giratina V, and that's probably better. So looks like a mirror match, and I'm getting a bad start. Hopefully, you know, I actually have the same starting Pokemon that they have. You know, we'll just say that now, of course, they have Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so that is much better for them. So if I get Comfey, because they have the potential to knock out my active, you know, I don't really want my Giratina V getting smacked, and I certainly don't want my Giratina V getting knocked out. They probably can't, though, but we'll see what they do. They're gonna get 2 cards in the loss zone. They need to get 7 in the loss zone, but they can get 5 next turn, right? 2, they'll get 1 from the Comfey. 3, 2 more from a Colress experiment. 4, 5. They have to get 2 more in. They have the other Comfey, and you know, getting the other 2 gets a little tricky. But you know, getting 2 in the loss zone is very good. It's okay. It's honestly. I take that back. I think 3 is very good. I think 2 is what you're hoping for. You're not going to get it all the time, but you're good. But you're good. But I'd be disappointed if I didn't get it. Is what I'll say, right? Because Comfey, Jet Energy, you know, gets you there. 2 Comfeys, Buddy Poff and Jet Energy, and you get 2 in the loss zone. So it's not crazy hard to get 2 in the loss zone. They didn't have, you know, if they could have started a Comfey and then had Buddy-Buddy Poffin and Jet Energy, that's how you get 3 in the loss zone turn 1, and that works, and that's super awesome. But so we'll see what happens here. Taking their time. Yeah, so at this point, play down the Giratina, the Radiant Greninja. Get rid of the basic water energy because I want to save the Jet Energy because I might want that, and see what happens. Now my opponent seems to have stopped playing, and I don't know if they disconnected or what, because they should have been. Now I've had times where I kind of forget to say end turn, and maybe that's the case here. I don't know what happened, right? Don't know why things took so long at the end. Colress, okay, so I'll do this first. Again, it just gives me more knowledge. Seeing what I draw. Radiant Greninja draw. I have no control. Okay, Temple of Sinnoh. So let me drop down. Well, I don't know. Actually, no, I don't. I might want to. Because I have the potential of taking a knockout here. So I like a Cramorant. So I right now, this is what, 2 in the... So go back. So what am I doing here? I think I want to keep... Grab the rod. I'll make those plays. Actually, I think I want to go... I think I want to grab the I have Temple of Sinnoh, right? So let me... I'm going to do this. I really want to pump up the the Lost Zone. So now I can get to, I get to 5 in the Lost Zone. I mean, I was at 4. I could get 5, 6. I was going to get, all right, I was going to Lost Zone my Temple of Sinnoh was my play. That's what I decided to do. So I, sorry for my opponent, my turn took long. I was thinking things through, I really was. And, yeah, so I'm not quite sure what my opponent kind of paused on their first turn, led to a long second turn for me. But I was thinking, and I realized that I wanted to get the Lost Vacuum so I could get 2 more cards in the Lost Zone with my Stadium, Temple of Sinnoh, Lost Vacuum, just really speeding up that process. All right, let's see how things go here. Had a bit of an odd last game. It was a win, which is awesome. It was a bit of a struggle for me, I will say. All right, so I'm going to go first. I think generally that's better. It all depends, right? I'm not, Okay, so Comfey. So I can get 2 cards in the Lost Zone anyway, so that's good. And maybe more. All right, so up against Ancient Box of some type of ancient deck. So okay, another Comfey. That's good. So Flutter Mane. Okay, so up against Ancient Box. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a Giratina. Well, actually, because I don't need another Comfey, right? I have 3 Comfeys. I don't need my 4th Comfey. I don't need Cramorant. So I want a Giratina V down this turn. So I'm just doing this to thin. I don't have my ability though, which that's bad. That part is bad. Flutter Mane is bad for me. So, but make this play, just kind of set things up here, right? I'm gonna bench another Comfey, and they're probably gonna leave Flutter Mane in the active. I'm guessing. It's not a guarantee. So I'm going to do this in case they Iono me and leave Flutter Mane. I want to advance my board state next turn, right? I do have Switch Cart, which could be valuable as well. So look, the Flutter Mane, obviously, it was not good for me. There's no denying that. And obviously, in an Ancient Box, Flutter Mane's going to be there, and it makes sense that they toss that down. So yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to look at whether I got a mulligan. Now unless we both, the only way they would know that they need to start Flutter Mane because I'm in a Lost Zone deck is if we both mulligan turn 1. So yeah, so they're going to just end here, which is what I figured would happen. They're not going to knock me out. Probably right now they have 0 Lost Zone cards in the discard pile. So I'm gonna attach this energy because it's one of the energies I need, and I can take a knockout next turn hopefully. So I want this. Those aren't great cards. And then I don't think I need a 3rd Giratina V, do I? I'll grab the Roxanne. I probably don't need it. I mean, I might. I'm hoping I don't get in the spot anytime soon, but it doesn't help me next turn. That's the thing. But I can use my Shred Attack next turn, which I think I do. They'll knock me out the following turn probably. They might not. Right now they're looking like they're not. So okay, so Pokestop. So what did they get in there? They moved an EX. And so they got 2 more cards, 2 more ancient cards in the Lost Zone. I mean, in the discard, getting 1 more with the Earthen Vessel. So which is very nice. So getting an EX into play. That doesn't have energy though. So, okay, getting 1 on that because he's okay. Well, this is scary. Okay, so obviously, how do I do? I think I want to attack here. period. Wow. Now, the problem is they're going to blow me up, aren't they? And that's really bad. So I'm not happy. I'm just not feeling happy. Just the Flutter Mains just put me to a grinding halt, and because I take this knockout, they're going to knock out my Giratina V, and I can't even take that knockout. So, I mean, this is just bad. So, I need to get lucky here. That Flutter Main is ruined my day. Do I want to get rid of the stadium? Yeah, actually I do, because I need to. It gets me one card in the Lost Zone. That's it, just one. But one more is better than none. So that's 3 in the Lost Zone, which isn't great. And I'll end turn here, I think. I don't think I want to drop down that Comfey. They're going to knock out my Act. If they knock out my Act, I just send up the Comfey on the bench. Worst case is they gust up my Giratina V with the energy. And that kind of ruins me. That ruins my day, I got to say. So we will see. So 3 in the Lost Zone, not very good progress. I get 4 in the Lost Zone next turn. So I have the potential of attacking with Cramorant next turn. I mean, it's not, you know. The big thing is do they take me? Can I protect? Okay, well, this is good. Okay, well, actually, I can't. They didn't knock me out. So, yeah, I need Colress, so I'm going to Radiant Greninja. Another Roxanne. Oh, that's not good. Energies. I think I'm going to ride back the energies this turn, I guess. I mean, this is just not good. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I need to hit energy as well to use Radiant Greninja, right? And I'm just going to end turn. It's not good. I mean, they're getting set up so that they're just going to blow up my Giratina V before I get to attack with it, probably. That's what they're waiting for, to get the pieces to gust up my Giratina V and one-shot it. And eventually they'll get to the place where they're going to one-shot it with their single prize Roaring Moon. In fact, I guess I should consider what the damage level is right now, if it'll stay. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 extra. So they're doing 170 right now. So and now they have the 3rd energy. They need a switch and a boss, and my Giratina V goes away with the energy that I've done. And there's the boss, and they must have the switch. And I'll give them a thumbs up, because and I'll let them take the knockout, take their prizes, and then I'm going to concede, because obviously Flutter Main just ruined my day big time there. I had a couple decisions to make, which obviously one could debate whether they're correct or not. So once they take their prize, I hit concede. I give up, and yeah. So just not, you know, Flutter Main is very good against Lost Zone, and Lost Zone's a good deck. So Ancient Box, I assume you got to drop in one Flutter Main. The nice thing is, without Roped format, one Flutter Main is enough. So just, you know, that's, you know, the deck can do that too, right? You're vulnerable to Flutter Main and other things, but Lost Zone, all in all, is good. As with all decks, you know, do you get the start you wanted? Iron Leaves is very situational, so maybe that goes out of the deck. I don't know. Honestly, I haven't used it much, is what I will say, but I put it in because that's what everybody's doing, right? So I jumped on the bandwagon, but perhaps, obviously, sometimes in the ladder you see a ton of Charizards, right? Sometimes you don't, so probably just need to keep it in because you know you're going to start running into them. But all in all, it is a good deck, and I certainly encourage you to give this upgraded Giratina Lost Zone starter deck a try. So play some Pokemon, have some fun, take care.